back to the channel. I've had a few requests from people asking if I could do a video about how you should approach unfamiliar roads. Is there any particular skill to driving unfamiliar roads, roads that you don't know, roads that you've not driven before? So, this week we're on holiday in the Scottish Highlands. I've dressed appropriately, the tartan shirt. I've got the M2 competition, full tank of petrol, nearly. And I've got my most important Highlands equipment with me. And that is the Jungle Strength Midge Repellent. So we're fully midge repelled. I'm having a drive on the section, it's a section of the North Coast 500 route. I think it's an optional section. And one part of this road goes over what's called Balackna Bar, which is the Pass of the Cattle, or the Applecross Pass. So we're going to end up, hopefully, in if everything goes all right, we're going to end up in Applecross on the northwest coast of Scotland. And we're going to see some really nice dramatic Highland scenery on the way over as well. I'm going to talk you through how I approach driving a road that I'm not familiar with. I have never driven this road before. I've never been over the Applecross Pass before. I've never been over this section of road before. So I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and my observations with you as they happen. And let's see how we get on. There is one little secret as well in relation to driving unfamiliar roads, and I'll let you into that shortly. But to start with, what I'm doing is using all the usual observation skills, all the stuff that I've talked about in previous videos, and I'll put some links in the description below to previous videos about observations and planning, limit point assessment, how I assess the speed for corners. But the first observation on this section of road is, even though this is a Scottish A road, it is single track with passing places. So the important thing to bear in mind with single track roads, certainly single track roads there, is that you've got to double your stopping distance. You've got to take into account the stopping distance of vehicles coming towards you as well. And just as I say that, we end up on a two-lane stretch of road. And a lovely dramatic view in front of us there. So as always, I'm extending my view into the far distance, looking as far down the road as I possibly can, trying to get a clue where it's going. Sometimes you use geography. Here we're dropping down the side of a valley. You can see off to the right there's quite a deep cut, probably a river running down the side there. And this road is built into the side, this left-hand side of that valley. So I'm generally looking where that valley's going and where the road is likely to take us. Road signs become more important when you're not familiar with the road. So the last road sign there was double bends, and then there's another road sign coming up here, road narrows from the offside. So I'll take that as a clue that we're entering another stretch of single track road. And now we're down in the bottom of that valley. So the roads, what roads tend to do in the bottom of valleys is follow the path of the river. We're crossing it here on a bridge to the other side of the valley. And if I extend my view across to the left there, you can see that the road follows the river for a little while. Positioning is really important. I'm going to position near side here to extend my view and let anybody else see me early as well as we enter this single track section. And my eyes are drawn now to that white car in the distance. So that's going to give us a clue as to where the road's going. Whether we're catching up with them or not, I don't know. We'll see what the pace is. I don't tend to carry a particularly quick pace on single track roads, especially when I've not driven them before. Good thing about Scottish single track roads is they tend to have plenty of passing places, and they tend to be signed well as well with those diamond shaped white signs. And now I'm going to let you into the secret, the little secret about driving roads that you don't know. Use the sat nav if you've got it. I've got our destination Applecross programmed into the sat nav. I'm going to zoom it in just a little bit there, and you start to get an idea of where the road's going. It's a little bit like having a drone above you or a little satellite view of where the road's going. Why would you not use that to your advantage? Alright, there's a lot of things it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me where it goes from single track to double width. It doesn't tell me what's around the next corner. I'm not making decisions based off this, but it is giving me a good early indication as to what direction the road's going. So here I can see that it's going round to the right, and it continues round to the right, and then into a left-hander, and a couple of left-handers as well. So as I slowly catch up with that white car in front, I'm also getting the advantage from following them, seeing what they're doing. Just be careful with that. There's no saying that they've got it right or that they know the road any better than you. Now I've got a cross view. So here's an important point as far as your observations are concerned. Extend your view outwards. Don't just stay straight ahead. If the road's going left, look off to the left. You'll start to pick up views and things that you might not see otherwise. Now let's see if he extends as a courtesy and pulls into a passing place for us. Oh, thank you very much. I actually think she was just pulling over, but she's let us past her now. So again, on these single track roads, always assume there's something coming the other way. You've got to double your stopping distance, so you're stopping twice the distance you can see to be clear, to take into account the stopping distance of the vehicles coming towards you as well. Now there's a sign for a township, Kishorn or Kishorn. So I don't see a speed limit sign, but I'm going to take my time through here. Residential properties and things, there's people walking a dog up ahead. And looking off to the left, I've got something a bit industrial looking. Very much. Looks like a port of some description, so there's always a risk there might be larger vehicles coming to and from that port. Kishorn Port and Dry Dock. The sign there, reduce speed now. It's not giving me any more detail about why, but I'm going to take my time into here. Like I say, road signs become much more relevant when you don't know the road. There's some good policies about road sign placement in the UK. Maybe the sign knew that there was a lumbering great camper van coming towards us and a couple of bikes. Don't know. So now we're catching up with a slow moving vehicle. Again, let's see if they give us a courtesy and move out of the way. Should do on single track roads. Should move in at a passing place and let you past. They don't tend to do it when they're close to the destination as well. It's got an S on the registration plate, so it's a Scottish registered vehicle. Might be a local, this. I'm going to look for an opportunity to overtake coming off this right-hander. Yep. Funny how these roads go very narrow and then open out into these lovely flowing A roads. So as into the distance now I can see a blue sign with a red circle on it. It's probably warning us something about the road coming up. I don't know if there's a width restriction or a height restriction or something like that. And looking at the sat nav, I'm going to be turning left and I can see a bridge off to the left there, so I suspect that's our road. So I'm looking right through the side window all the way off to the left. A sort of dark coloured hatchback car coming towards us in the distance there. Checking the mirrors. There's our junction. And the junctions always have the finger post signs immediately opposite them to help you judge how close they are. So looking up ahead now, there's a couple of other vehicles there. Are they parked or are they stopped in a passing place? I think they're parked up. There's a couple of sheep there as well, and a camper van lumbering its way down the road towards us. Looking past the camper van, I can't see anything else. So I suspect what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait early in this passing place. I think that's something behind us now. Let's keep going. I'm going to wait here in front of the old taxi. Again, looking off to the left there, I've got a good clear view all the way off to the left. There's nothing coming towards us. And I understand this is the start of the Applecross Pass, so let's see what we make of this. It's supposed to be a really nice scenic road. So one of the visual clues we've got here are the telegraph poles. If you look carefully, you see them off to the right. They tend to follow the road most of the time. Just occasionally they'll catch you out because they'll fire off to a farm or something like that. So 90-95% of the time those telegraph poles will give you a rough idea of where the road's going. I've got some motorcyclists coming towards us, and I've got a passing place on the left here. I think somebody's parked in the next passing place, and those motorcyclists have pulled over now on the offside. Just a tip for you if you're using passing places, stop opposite them if they're on your right, not in them. And they're not a parking spot. So the sat-nav shows the road going off to the right and then up the hill on the right. So I'm positioning near side here to get a view. Weak road, 18 ton maximum, so shouldn't expect any heavier vehicles than that coming over here, but you never know. Again, single track with passing places, it's got to be ready to react. I think another good tip is always remember the last passing place that you've passed. It's easy to judge then whether you should be backing up if you've already passed it. We try and avoid reversing on these roads. There's some long drops at the side of these roads, so we try and avoid reversing on them. Try and spot the vehicles coming towards you. That's a pretty dramatic view, isn't it? I don't know what that mountain's called, but I'll find out. I'll put it in the description below. I've got some bits of roadworks out here, so there might be some work going on. Let's have a look. Reminds me a little bit of when we're up in the Himalayas. Certainly the foothills of the Himalayas have a similar feel to this. The start of the Manali to Leh highway, very similar to this. So I've got one dark car in the distance coming towards us there. Can't see anything else at the moment, but the road disappears off round to the right. So I'm always ready to pull into these passing places. A couple of cyclists there. There's the dark coloured car. Little home warning for cyclists: they don't pay attention to what's happening behind them, especially not when they're climbing a hill like this. It's hard work, so a little toot just occasionally will get a little bit of compliance from them. It's not aggressive, just letting them know that we're there. I'm extending my view across there. There's a little glint of sunlight up the hill, and then you can pick the line of the road out in the distance there. Again, I'm always thinking about these passing places, but when we get a little bit of a view like that, we can just pick the speed up a little bit. And watch the road surface as well on these roads. 3 vehicles coming towards us now, a van and 2 cars. They're the only 2 I can see at the moment, and a motorcyclist going in our direction. He's just pulled into a passing place up there. But the road continues to go around to the right. and then we've got a sharp left-hander at the end of this little straight, and I suspect that's where we might be meeting the van and the cars, so I'm going to wait just at that left-hander for these vehicles to come past. It's like there's a snow gate there as well. It's a really dramatic view up there, isn't it? What a fantastic piece of road. I'm going to tuck into the left here. And then we can get straight away. Didn't see anything else for any distance behind those vehicles, but this is climbing up again. A lovely view off to the left. Don't be distracted by the views when you're on a new road that you don't know. It's got big drops at the side. Better keep your focus on what's happening in front. Couldn't have picked a better day to come and have a drive on a road like this. I was trying to keep the car in a flexible gear as well. We don't want to get bogged down. I mean, this car has plenty of power and torque. It's not that easy to get bogged down in it, but keep a flexible gear. Keep the car rolling. You want a gear that will allow the car to slow down or retard itself as well as accelerate. And there's a car coming down the hill. I've just seen it. He's probably waiting for me around the corner. What a fantastic view up the valley there. So a quick look at the sat nav, showing me where the road's going. A long way around to the left, and a car coming towards us here. A couple of passing places. Thank you very much. The roof off on a day like this. So eyes all the way to the top of the hill now. You can see the road going all the way up the right hand side of the valley, past the waterfall. Trying to pick out if there's any vehicles coming towards us. An orange Jeep here. Pull in. What a dramatic piece of road. When you get a nice clear view like this, nothing wrong with opening the car up a little bit more. I'm sure there's nothing coming towards us. The chap just got off his bike on the left there, halfway up the hill. One car towards us, about a mile away at the moment. Actually two. A white one and a dark coloured car. So keep looking out for the passing places. I don't know if there's going to be any up that side of the cliff. I might wait here for these vehicles. Yeah, we'll wait here for them. Spot. Actually, there's more passing places than I thought there were up the side of this hill. And here's a good example of how not to use a passing place. Don't stop on the offside just because it's a nice view. Oh, it's got a nice feel out of this road actually. What a cyclist there. Did a car come into view there? Still smiling. I wonder if he'll still be smiling when he gets to the top. I think that's the vehicle I saw there. Thank you very much. It's got a little bit of a feel of Hard Knock Rhinos passing the Lake District as well. Not quite as steep as Hard Knock Rhinos, but not far off. Right up into the hairpins now. So you look across to the left there, you can see the road going left and sharp hairpin right. Can't see any vehicles on there at the moment. Have a good look. To move your head around in the car, look under the mirror. I'm looking up to the right now, see if anything's coming down towards us. Can't see anything. Well, look at the view off to the left. Wow. Might stop and fly the drone out here. Got one BMW coming down the hill towards us there. I'm sure there's another passing place after here. Gotta be. Yeah, there we are. Going around that one. Again, off to the right, can't see anything coming. Second gear should be okay. Just about. At the top here somewhere. Might just stop and get the drone out. So there you go, that's Balakna Bar, the Pass of the Cattle, or the Applecross Pass. It's the first time I've driven that road. I've shared my observations with you. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing on a road that's unfamiliar. Just a few observation tips really. Use the sat-nav. Even if you don't intend to go to a particular destination, if you know that's where your road's going, put your destination in. It highlights the road on your sat-nav and just gives you a little bit of a clue as to what's coming up. That's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Press the notification button, the little bell. You get an email every time I upload a new video then. Go and have a look at the website, reglocal.com. Loads of information there about advanced and performance driving. If you fancy a day's driver coaching with me, drop me an email through the website and we'll sort something out for you. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Proper cycling coming up there.